A woman named Tonda drove her car through the darkness of the cold night. The man sitting beside her in the passenger seat bled profusely with a gunshot wound to his chest. With one hand on the wheel, and the other holding a .22 caliber gun, still trembling in her hand, it was the gun Tonda had used a few minutes ago, to shoot the man who was now bleeding to death. As she drove towards the hospital, her mind was a whirlwind of thoughts and memories. Tonda's face, usually calm and composed, was now pale with stress and fear. As the wind blew her now messy jet black hair, her dark brown eyes reflecting in the rear view mirror, showed a depth of emotion that spoke volumes about her recent life. As she navigated the lonely roads to the hospital, her mind raced with thoughts of how drastically her world had changed. She thought about the relentless pressure that now shadowed her every move, the constant scrutiny she found herself under. There was no escape from the prying eyes and the endless demands, a suffocating reality that seemed to follow her relentlessly. Her once simple and content life had become unrecognizable, filled with challenges and conflicts she could never have anticipated. Relationships that had once been her refuge were now strained, some even broken beyond repair. The trust had become a luxury she could hardly afford. The man next to her, whom she once trusted most in life, was proof of how dangerous and unpredictable her life had become. As she got closer to the hospital, Tonda knew things were going to get even tougher. But inside her was a strong will to get through this, to find her way in this new and uncertain life. To understand what happened to Tonda Lynn, a 30-year-old waitress in a Waffle House in Alabama, we would need to go back to the morning on 5th of March 1999, the day her world was turned upside down. But before we start, if tales of mystery and intrigue captivate you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Stay with us, as we uncover the stories that lurk in the dark corners of our world. Tonda's morning started at 7 sharp, with the sound of her alarm cutting through the quiet of her modest home. She rubbed her eyes, weary from another night of little to no sleep, and prepared for the day ahead. As she made her way to the kitchen, she tried not to pay attention to the unpaid bills stacked on the counter. Each envelope was a stark reminder of the financial tightrope she walked every day. Her kids were up too, needing breakfast and her attention. She quickly made them something to eat, all the while multitasking her housework. Glancing at the clock, Tonda realized she was running late for work. The morning rush was always a challenge, but today it seemed even more frantic. She arrived at the Waffle House she worked, breathless and anxious, knowing that a long day awaited her. At work, Tonda had a rough day. The tips that customers left were about how she made most of her money, but today they were unusually low. One customer only left $1, and another table had kids who made a big mess. But the funniest part of her stressful day was when one customer left her a lottery ticket as a tip. This wasn't the first time Tonda had received something unusual as a tip. She had been left a cookie, a gift card, a bag of olives, and even a fake dollar note on different occasions. Unlike other waitresses who might have been annoyed, Tonda always found these odd tips hilarious. Tonda was the kind of person who, despite all her hardships, always kept her spirits up and found joy in small things. Later in the kitchen, she showed the lottery ticket to her colleagues, who laughed at the oddity of the tip. They jokingly told her to remember them if she struck it rich, a laughable idea at that moment. Little did Tonda know that seemingly ordinary lottery ticket was about to change her life. It wasn't just any ticket, it had won her a staggering $10 million. But what seemed like a stroke of incredible luck soon turned into a nightmare. Tonda's win brought with it problems she could never have imagined. As news of Tonda's windfall spread, her life began to unravel. The joy of winning was quickly overshadowed by the onslaught of attention, both wanted and unwanted. Her phone rang incessantly, with distant relatives, old acquaintances, and strangers seeking a share of her newfound wealth. But Tonda soon received a news that completely shook her. The work friends that once she treated like family would turn on her. Her colleagues at the Waffle House had sued her in court, claiming that there had been an agreement to share any winnings from tickets received as tips. This led to a bitter and lengthy legal battle, straining relationships and dragging Tonda's name through endless legal proceedings. The stress of her sudden wealth took a toll on her personal life as well. Friends and family members, who once stood by her side, now viewed her with envy and jealousy. Tonda found herself completely isolated, and struggled to discern genuine relationships from those tainted by greed. Amidst the turmoil of legal battles and strained relationships, Tonda received another blow, when the customer, Edward Stewart, who had given her the lottery ticket as a tip, sued her too, claiming that he was the rightful owner of the winnings. He argued that since he had purchased the ticket, technically the money belonged to him. This claim led to yet another legal dispute, adding to the already overwhelming situation Tonda found herself in. The case attracted media attention, further complicating her life. After a lengthy and stressful legal battle, both Tonda's colleagues and the customer who had given her the lottery ticket lost their cases against her. The court ruled in Tonda's favor, affirming her right to the entire lottery win. However, the court victory did little to alleviate the personal toll these disputes had taken on her. The stress and anxiety from the continuous legal battles and public scrutiny had a profound impact on Tonda. She began to withdraw from the world around her, distancing herself from everyone. The constant pressure and invasion of privacy led her to make a significant decision. She quit her job at the Waffle House and decided to move. The dream of a carefree life, free from financial worries, had morphed into a constant struggle to protect her fortune and her well-being. Tonda's legal battles did not end there. She set up a corporation called 9mil to manage the winnings with her family, holding 49% of the stock herself. But the IRS had other ideas. They claimed that Tonda needs to pay more than 70 grand in gift taxes for transferring stock to her family, seeing it as a multi-million-dollar gift. Tonda fought the claim, stating that it wasn't a gift but a family agreement to share any big lottery win. The IRS didn't buy it, but the court did agree to reduce the value of the gift due to the legal claims against her. She still lost a major share of her winnings to the IRS. But the worst was yet to come in Tonda's journey. Let's rewind to the incident at the beginning of the story, where Tonda had shot a man. That man was none other than Tonda's ex-husband, Stacy Martin. In a twisted turn of events, Stacy kidnapped her at gunpoint. His intention was to force her to transfer all her lottery winnings to him, kill her afterward, and create a new life with her fortune. Stacy took Tonda to an isolated boat, planning to end her life and escape with the money. But Tonda managed to wrestle the .22 caliber gun from Stacy's grip and shot him in the chest. Instead of fleeing, Tonda then drove her wounded ex-husband to the hospital, saving his life. Stacy survived the gunshot, and Tonda chose not to press charges against him. Tonda finally decided to distance herself from all the drama and misery. She decided to give away a major chunk of her lottery money to her family members, to start their businesses and fund college education for their children. Tonda now works as a poker dealer at a local casino in Mississippi. Tonda's lottery win was more than just a stroke of luck. It became a saga of how quickly fortune can turn people into ruthless monsters. Tonda's story, once a tale of luck and possibility, had become a cautionary reminder of the complexities that come with sudden wealth. Her tale unfolded as a dramatic reminder of how wealth can invite unexpected chaos, where greed and ego can clash and spiral out of control. It whispers a secret of the lottery world: sometimes, the best-kept fortune is the one shrouded in silence. So that's it for today's episode. If you liked this story, then stay tuned with us and subscribe to the Eclipse Tales. Take care, and until the next time.